Hout jy hulle speaker die. Dis kry.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I think we are fashionably late, which is fantastic. Welcome again to the final day, the final presentations. We're starting off this morning with secure digital infrastructure. For those of you who don't know what that is, it covers a range of things, but primarily cybersecurity. As we know in the world today, cybersecurity is one of the most pressing global issues when it comes to IT. So what you're going to be seeing this morning over here is the cutting edge. So we're going to be starting immediately, and the number one guy coming up to present is Marcello, and he's going to be presenting his innovation called Unun. Marcello, up to you. Oh, I must get Marcello. Marcello, just wait for me. I need to get you quickly. Yeah. Yeah. So you just press the green button and point to the back. Yeah, perfect.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias, bom dia, pessoal. My name is Marcelo. I'm from Brazil. And my presentation, yeah, thank you. And today, I will present to you Unun, our cybersecurity platform. So, now we are. So, every company or every government, it's around a lot of technologies, yeah? And in the other hand, the managers of that technology needs to have productive security and visibility for all of that research. So, you can imagine, no one here saw someone in your company who has passwords, who has sensitive data, who are with a low productive when work remotely or when work in a hybrid model, or you have insecure or no compliance ways to work with that systems. So today I present to you Unun. Unun has a lot of research to put the company's technologies in the hands of the management. So we have a complete manager of passwords and sensitive data. You can access almost every system in one click and from anywhere with any device. Any web device is able to access Unun and give that access to your systems and technologies inside your company or government. And we can contribute a lot with compliance and cybersecurity governance, because we check all that points you need. And to demonstrate that and how easy it is to use Unun, I brought here to you some screens just to clarify how it works. So, if you have a server, VMs, IoTs, switches, routers, firewalls, printers, etc., you can manage them in one click with that screen. Another issue you need to address here is to manage your password, your sensitive data. All of that, you have a vault and complete manager of that life cycle of that information. So if you have any web app or any app you need to use inside your company, like ERPs, like CRM, like any other, Instagram, LinkedIn, other examples, I can tell you here, in one click, you have access to them. And our innovation is you can put the vault, the PAM is the Privileged Access Management, and automation to work together. So if you have a complex activity inside your company, like deploy something, like a maintenance database, like everything you need to put in a task, you can program, and one click, Unun execute that for you in any counters of machines, like 1,000 machines in one time. Yeah, we can do that. So, just to clarify how it works, if you want to access your Windows server, your Windows desktop inside your company, there you are. If you need to access an application inside Windows, there you are. If you want to access SSH, Linux, routers, switches, IoTs, VoIPs, cameras, there you are. If you have need to put to your employees or third parties a VDI with Linux without licensing, there you are, and that's our own exclusive technology. If you have any kind of web apps, there you are. So in this case, it's a platform of virtualization we deliver. And we deliver that, all of that, without knowing any password. Nobody in your company or organization knows no password to access to address all those technologies. And we have an exclusive technology who is a micro SOs, micro operational systems. You can personalize a micro operational system just with your applications you need, like managed databases, like Visual Studio Code, like you choose which applications you want in the micro OS, and Unun launch that for you, okay? Without virtualization, without cloud, without any external necessity or request. And to demonstrate, if you have a task you need to deploy, like deploy a system, like do some maintenance in database, like do some maintenance in your Windows, in your Linux data center, that can be programmed in Ansible, and you start with one click, like I show you too. So, Unun is the link between the people, all web-enabled device, and your technologies like cameras, VGIs, Wi-Fi's, firewalls, printers, databases, systems, platforms, servers, switches, routers, anything you have in technology inside your company, Unun is between them. But we can view all is working in real time. All access is for you manager in real time. And if you want to view some access in the past, you can generate a video of every access who passed through Unun. So I have visualization of what's happening now and what has happened in the past. okay? What happened in the past, sorry. Cybersecurity market is the most fastest growing marketing technology. Just talking about PAM, it's my category in cybersecurity, it's Privileged Access Management. Just with that, we are talking about $17 billion market. And that, my friends, all PAM solutions are just in the big company. That address is just for big companies. We are not counting here the small and medium companies that Unun can address. Our revenue is for software subscription, monthly or annually. We have more than 14 clients now, a 700 average monthly ticket. And we are triple our size every year since we started. Compared to our competitors, I have some highlights here, like our public is from AA to C, our productivity is very high, different for any competitor. We can do cloud, we can do on-premises, our costs are medium to low, our implementation are simple, and we are feature richer. So we are well positioned in the market for PAN and that kind of technology. And what we really take advantage, we have the best user experience. We can address non-technical audition. We can implement in a lot of verticals, like we attend healthcare, we attend industry, we attend services, we attend security and implementing security solutions. Our platform works in 3 languages now and works in tablets, cell phones, or notebooks. That's only in the market who do that, is ours. We increase its productivity because all technology in your company is one click away, just one click away, without password, without VPN, we just need a web browser to operate all your systems inside your company. So we work through channels. We have already 5 channels enabled, and we have more 200 channels because we just signed with the distributor software, world-class distributor software. We release new features every 4 months, and we are ready for internationalization. That's our ask here. We have an experienced, proven team with 14 people now, also level, and dedicated 20/7 support team. And today, we already integrate with other solutions, and we have automation with Ansible. That address is already done. And until the final of this year, we will create technical and commercial certifications to enable more faster our channels. And with innovation goals, we have high quality work. You, with Unun, can work from any city with any work model, hybrid, home, presential. Unun is there, Unun is constant, Unun is secure, Unun is productive. We have a security digital inclusion, where you can run a lot of softwares with high demand hardware, for instance, and you can use that from a cell phone or from a Chromebook, for example. You just need a web browser to do that. And Unun provides compliance and maturity in cybersecurity for all size companies. So we are the only one in the world who can address small and medium sized companies. Okay. So in 1 hour setup, you can work securely and productively from anywhere with any web device without knowing passwords. And all of them with compliance, with visibility, and in the hands of your organization manager. Please tell me hello to increase your productivity. Thank you. Obrigado. Gracias.
What a presentation. What a presentation, Marcello. No? Judges?
Marcelo, how do you differentiate from your competitors?
I'm different. Because first, I can address any audiences. So my competitors is just for technical person. And I can address a receptionist, I can address a stagiaire, I can address anyone inside the company without training. We are just one click for any kind of technology. But I can address the public different, like small and medium companies that are not competitors in that kind of public. And we have the best user experience in all of our journey using Unun. So you need to just have a web browser, click in that, address your Unun, and work entire day.
Hi, Marcelo. So I listened to your amazing presentation. To me, it sounds like any other SOC or VSOC. I've seen some platforms that are already doing what you're doing. So I wanted to know what's the differentiator, because now there's even AI or intelligent type of SOCs that are available that can even do remediation. So what makes your platform different? I think I'm also adding to that question as well.
When we address AI, first one, we are talking about AI and about ZTA, zero trust area, for example. That needs a supercomputer, a client, a connection stable to input AI between you and that systems, okay? So you need to have a lot of structure to do that. With Unun, you just need a web browser. And you can address all systems, and all compliances you need are there. So we are implementing AI to monitoring some things, to get more intelligence for the infrastructure, but I'm not splitting with the IA, I'm not splitting with ZTA, it's zero trust area. Nah? I'm not splitting with that. I can work with that. So I'm complementary to them. Yeah?
Thank you.
Any other questions, judges? Ori?
Yes, very briefly. You mentioned that it takes about an hour to set up, but if I'm working in security and sharing SSH keys, etc., I know that takes a lot more than just an hour. Can you briefly tell us about the technical challenges for someone to set up and onboard, or is there just none?
To set up our system. Perfect.
Yes, because you're a broker between your client and Microsoft, Google, Linux desktops, and many other systems.
Yeah. For us, in the client side, you just need a web browser, okay? In the server who install Unun, you just need a Linux, a virtual machine Linux with 16 RAM gigabytes and 300 gigas of disk. And that's it. We run one command in that Ubuntu or Red Hat Linux. In about 14 and 20 minutes, it's installed. And after that, you license, and we start to configure that. But we have a lot of integration. So if you have a Zabbix, for instance, who monitoring your infrastructure, Unun gets all information from there. If you have a Microsoft ID, Active Directory, or Enter ID, or Google Authentication, whatever, we go there and synchronize all the users. So we can really, in one day, we can start the day with nothing and final the day with all implemented, all your users inside, all devices inside, and your team trained, because the training is 4 times of 30 minutes. So it's too fast to get in.
Thank you very much, Marcello. Thank you very much. What a presentation. The clicker? Thank you very much. Before Niten of Snode, who is the South African entrant into this competition, comes on stage, I just wanted to say, can you hear how difficult the questions are? This is why the judges are here, because if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? So the expectation is that you must know your topic and you must know it through and through. Excellent. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Niten of Snode.
Thank you very much. So I just want to take this opportunity to welcome my peers from around the world to our beautiful country, South Africa. Hi, my name is Niten Naidu. I'm the CEO and founder of Snode Technologies. Snode is an award-winning cyber defense firm based in South Africa. Most recently, this year in fact, we won the North Star Award at GISEC Global Dubai, which is the third largest cybersecurity conference in the world, where the world's best come to compete. So this is a challenge. We live in this hyper-connected world. My shoes connects to my watch connects to my phone connects to my computer connects to a network of satellites in space. We all connect to the internet and to each other. Securing this heterogeneous architecture is a challenge. Traditional security solutions don't work. You can't put an antivirus on an autonomous vehicle. Similarly, I can't send a firewall, a heavy firewall, with the satellite into space. So a more innovative solution is required. At its heart, Snode is a collection of massless embedded sensors that speaks into a digital twin. The digital twin predicts and preempts high-risk situations and events. The AI-based simulation then understands the most effective and efficient response to that condition, and then automatically responds to the situation. Our technology, our privacy-preserving technology, is globally patented, but it exceeds the bounds of traditional cybersecurity in terms of malware, viruses, ransomware. Let me give you an example. In 2016, we showed the police force in South Africa that we could predict when a crowd of people would turn violent. We refer to this use case as predictive policing, but the same kind of technology can be used to stop human trafficking, election tampering, like information warfare. It can be used for national disasters and even disease prediction. Another really good example is a few years ago, we helped the Special Investigations Unit here in South Africa track a kidnap and ransom victim who was a mother who was found bound in chains in Johannesburg. Today, we cover 8 million devices across 6 continents. We cover national ports. We cover national rail. We cover national electricity grids. As a matter of fact, the largest law firm in South Africa, which is a building next door, runs Snode. The largest agri-tech plantation in the world runs Snode. Second largest online trading platform in the world runs Snode. One of the largest gold mines in the world runs Snode. Uranium facilities run Snode, and even intelligence agencies run Snode. The global cybersecurity market is said to be about 256 billion by 2028. But in stark contrast, that's actually not my target. My target is the space industry, which is said to be 1.8 trillion by 2027. You see, because Snode's technology traverses IT like a corporate network, OT like your ports, your mines, etc., IoT and sensor devices like in your autonomous vehicles, your drones. It's multi-cloud, so AWS, Azure, Alibaba Cloud presents the same layer of control across all. And it's this kind of capability that allows us to be pervasive. How it works is we take data at internet scale, petabytes of data. We crunch it, and like a chess player, we run hundreds and thousands of simulations in real time about various different types of scenarios, and we tell your analyst the 1 or 2 high-risk events that are highly probable to happen. We then rerun simulations around possible response actions, and we find the most optimal response that's going to be the most effective and the most cost efficient. And we then execute that for you automatically. For those events that cannot be explicitly identified as a threat, we provide like a frictionless interface for the analyst to navigate through the petabytes of data. This takes them from strategic decision making right down to an offending TCP/IP packet with very few clicks. The platform is a standalone implementation. It can be public cloud, it can be private cloud, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't leverage any external engines, even though it can consume APIs from the internet, it can consume data from the dark web, it can consume data from social media. It's not reliant on any external engine, and it can be operated, for example, in space as a standalone unit. Today, it's offered to private enterprise as a SaaS offering. You know, there's a 30-day free trial. You can just sign up. You can use the platform. But for, like, for example, for an intelligence agency, it's offered on-site. Because it's not pound or dollar-based pricing, it's extremely cost efficient, even though it offers very advanced functionality. This allows us to provide this kind of capability and access markets which are generally underserved. So you'll see like a lot of the countries where we're really popular is like Southeast Asia, Africa, South America. We also have a channel partner go-to-market strategy. Reason being is that empowers local business, but it also empowers sovereign security, where we're building national skill and national capability. Our business has grown year on year from inception. We're highly profitable, we're self-funded. And my partners are E&Y World Entrepreneur of the Year award winners. I myself, it's always good to have your home country's innovation award. I have 2 South African Innovation Awards, one from our president. Quite simply, our ask is we're looking for partners to access greater markets. I think it's important to note on this point, Snode's not simply a startup that's looking to hyperscale, that's looking to make money. We've built a technology that we believe can solve some of the social evils that plague our countries and the world, like human trafficking, drug trafficking, crime, organized crime, and disease. So we're looking for partners and we're looking for access into those countries and environments that need us most. Not simply to make money, but to actually make a difference. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent stuff, Nitin. Judges, over to you.
Thanks very much for a really nice presentation. You had 2 examples of a woman held at ransom and an example of a crowd that turned violent. Could you make those concrete?
Sure.
And what I mean by concrete is that how would sensors and edge devices, how did they play a role into detecting where this woman was or predicting what edge devices did within in the story?
Perfect. Okay, so when the protesters go out for Fees Must Fall, they were posting to Facebook, they were posting to Twitter, and to other platforms. Instagram wasn't that big at that time. So we take the metadata from a tweet. Now, there's 32 data points on a single tweet. Everything from your hometown to the kind of device you're using to your geolocation. Not to mention there's metadata in the photographs, etc. at that particular point in time. So what we do is we use Bayesian classification to actually profile different types of people. And then we look at historic events where we collect social media from, and we actually understand the profiles of those individuals who are most likely to cause, instigate, or fall into a pattern of violence. What we then do is, once we understand the probability of violence and the concentration of that profile of individual is high enough, we actually issue an automated response to SAPs so they can increase police visibility to suppress or lower the probability of the outbreak of violence. That was the first example. And the second example is a little bit more bespoke in the sense that it was highly crafted. Essentially, it's a message that gets sent. It's not like spyware. We're not the NSO group or Pegasus, but it's a message that was getting. The kidnap and ransom guys were hiding behind encrypted platforms like WhatsApp. At that time, now there is a solution to SAPs. At that time, it took about 6 months for us to subpoena and get information on those communications, which was, of course, too long in a kidnap and ransom case. So what we did is we sent a special message, specially crafted message, and what that would do, that would ping home an IMEI and MSISDN on the phone that it landed on. And that helped us understand not only the subscriber on that end, but also the network of people that that message was then relayed to. So for example, it was proof of finance, PDF, that actually ends up on the other side of the phone. That gets propagated, and not only do you identify potentially who received the message, but who they passed the message on to. I can't go into too much more technical detail on that, because that capability actually still gets used by the police today.
Nathan, I just want to find out, how do you guys compare to Siandre, for instance, with Danny Mayberg and them?
Yeah, no, I know Danny pretty well. Firstly, our technology is built by us. So Danny and them, they use off-the-shelf product, and they're very good. They do forensics. I don't do forensics. I do defense at scale. So whereas they'll be like sort of CSI, and that's where their area of expertise is, we're like Navy SEALs, right? We come in, we highly offensive kind of capability, and we run defense for key critical national infrastructure. In the event of something transpiring, like a hack or an attack, that's when you'd get Danny Mayberg in. Does that answer the question there? Perfect.
Thank you very, very much, Niten. My goodness me, what a presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
That's brilliant. My goodness me. Next up, we have Kolade, who is going to tell us about their innovation called Fixium. Kolade, the stage is yours. There we go. So you just press the green one, point it to the antenna at the back. There we go.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, my name is Kolade from Nigeria, and today I'm going to be talking about an identity and access management solution called Fixium. Okay? Now, the first question would be, why would anyone build an identity and access management solution with all the plethora of solutions that we have right now in the world? Again, we are one of 3 OEMs that have an identity access management solution coming out of Africa. And what problem are we solving? I would use a story to start. Now, after setting up identity and access management solutions in large corporate enterprises, there is still a challenge that we find out that happens, which is something as simple as what you have on your screen. You set up an enterprise system, you're protecting all your assets, and then the human weakness in securing digital infrastructure comes in, where an individual shares their password. Usually, it starts with just, I'm trying to get work to move along very quickly, and I need help from a colleague, so let me just share the credential with the colleague, or share a copy of my hard token or soft token for the person to just authenticate on my behalf. And with that, a problem happens. Password sharing password compromises, non-repudiation. In Nigeria, for example, we've had instances where there were fraud as high as $2-3 million, but they couldn't find out who did it because the owner of the credential said it wasn't them. And this credential had been passed on from different persons, and they couldn't tie down who was actually responsible for that action. Now, we saw this play out repeatedly in several investigations where they are trying to discover who exactly committed this fraud, and these are internal frauds. That is one problem that we've noticed. We'll move on to the second one. And again, about $10 billion has been lost over the last 10 years for this problem. Let's move on to the next slide. I'll show you another problem. In Africa, we also noticed that apart from the workforce within organizations, for large enterprises like telco, banks, they have very large agent networks doing mobile money, SIM registration, and all of that. These agent networks in some of these enterprises rise up to 100,000 persons. Now, these persons are not their central workforce or employees, they are partners. But they also need access to digital resources owned by the organization on behalf of the organization to serve customers. And this person freely share their credentials with anybody, with friends, with family, help me out with this. And with that, you see new sets of fraud where something as simple as a person who is a merchant that uses their mobile money to perform operations suddenly discovered that their merchant account has been shared with someone else. How did this happen? Then they try reaching out to the agent and talking to them. What happened? And again, the whole thing gets quite messy over time. Now, what we have seen is that standard IAM, identity and access management solutions, do not cater for the nuances that we have in Africa, in Latin America, in a large part of the Middle East, where the traditional workforce, both in-house workforce and ad hoc workforce, do not have access to things like proper password management solutions and all of that. And this has created a very massive gap in the market that we have come into. Okay? The name of the company is Seamfix, and the solution is Fixiam. Now, what have we done? When it comes to identity and access, there are usually 3 levels of security. What you know, which is usually your username and password, what you have, which would be an OTP, a time-based OTP, or a hardware token, and then who you are. Those are like the 3 levels of security that you can put in place when you're protecting digital resources. The first 2 are very common. Username, time-based OTP, all of that are very common. But then the biometric layer, a lot of innovation has gone into that space by big tech, but the challenge is the device problem, okay? This biometric authentication will only work in high-end devices, okay? Smartphones that will cost as high as $900 and above. Sorry, smartphones costing $900 and above, and laptops costing around $1,500 and above. Now you will discover that in a lot of these markets, the individuals that are using these resources are not using any of these advanced devices. And that means that implementing the most secure layer of biometric at the layer of authentication is not possible. Though they buy this advanced tech, they can't use them. They still rely and fall back on things like OTP and all of that. Now, what we have done with Fixiam is to move and take the load of biometric authentication to the backend, okay, by giving them access to mini automated biometric information system that can handle things like deduplication, that can handle face match, fingerprint matching, and all of that by just using basic device cameras, okay? Basic device cameras, your devices don't have to be complex, they don't have to be fancy, as low as possible. Now, the first experience deploying this was for one of the largest telco. They had about 35,000 agents that were working with them, and they needed to ensure that the agents selling SIM cards and doing mobile money PIN reset were actually the right person. So you want to be sure that that person is the one that is doing those activities. And what they were using for authentication was fingerprint. So at the beginning, we onboarded all the fingerprints of the agents, and anytime they need to submit a request or whatever, just take a picture of the hand. We handle everything, the whole heavy lifting at the back with our technology for the matching and ensuring that the right person is accessing this resource, okay? Now, again, we support all the standard IAM protocols, SAML, OIDC. We're able to integrate with hundreds of applications. So this is the application, just showing you quite a very easy user experience and interface to make things a lot smoother. So we support SAML, OpenID, OAuth. We're able to integrate with both legacy systems and systems that support the standard IAM protocols. So this is where you're able to configure your multi-factor authentication method, whether fingerprint, you want to use portrait, or you want to use OTP. You are able to support that. This is me just at the back there, showing authenticating into an application. Okay, so again, very seamless. Experience is pretty straightforward. And also, this is fingerprint option. We support very low-end fingerprint scanners, as well as contactless fingerprint scanner, where you can just take a picture of your hand and then you do your authentication and you are in. Okay, we support all the advanced login methods, but again, we are more focused on the underserved markets that are being hit with fraud because of the fact that they need high-end devices. But again, we're able to support all the standard protocols. Now, this is what facial authentication looks like, and then the fingerprint authentication. Now, again, I've mentioned a lot about biometric authentication, things around role-based access control, providing SSO across all their systems, as well as handling everything concerning their user management, using SCIM to integrate with other applications, automating user provisioning and deprovisioning. We handle all of that from the identity lifecycle management all the way till the end. Now, what is the opportunity in the market? We see the IAM market as far back as 2023 being an 18 billion market. It's constantly growing, okay, every year on year, and is expected to reach 61 billion by 2032. We know that a lot of that growth is going to come from developing countries that are moving from a lot of manual processes to digital, and then they are going to need these services to help to protect their critical access and critical resources. Okay, growth rate is around 12 to 16%. Again, in Africa, for example, 98% of identity and access management solutions are imported. These are the big players, okay? Everybody imports, but we are an OEM. We built the technology, and we've been in identity and access management space for almost a decade, but we recently moved into building IAM. We've been an identity technology company providing identity solutions, but recently we saw that space in the IAM industry, and then we came into it. So we are able to deploy our solution on-prem and on cloud, and also hybrid. Again, we serve BFSI, telecoms, government, and all of those markets. We're early days. We just rolled out this technology barely a year ago. So it's early days, but we're beginning to see traction. Business model, per user, per annum licensing. Okay, so it's easy for you to scale. We majorly sell through reseller partnerships, referrals. Again, partnership is very critical in accessing this industry. For a social impact, protect individuals from fraud and identity theft, okay? Ensure that every organization is able to comply with the highest level. This is Traction, and this is the team, okay? We're spread over a couple of continents. Thank you very much. We've raised our Series A fund earlier, and we're currently in the middle of a bridge round. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kolade. Judges?
Kolade, how do you compare to products that already exist in the global market? What makes you different?
All right, so as I mentioned earlier, the products in the global market for the biometric authentication, for example, most of them do device-based biometric authentication, meaning you need a high-end laptop, like maybe your MacBook, or a high-end device, mobile device. And for most of the customers we are seeing in the developing countries, they don't have these devices, especially the workforce, the ad hoc workforce. They can't afford these devices. They use low-end devices. So they can't deploy standard IAM solutions to that workforce. Usually they just leave them and then live with the risk and exposure. That's what we see. They just live with the risk. Now we've moved in and then covered that space where we can still give you the highest level of security with low-end devices.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Sorry, question from my side. Does the solution sit as a service, or is it owned in the customer environment? So who owns the data of that biometric and the authentication process? Thank you.
Okay, so again, it's dual approach. In the event where you're dealing with government and large enterprises that have infrastructure, you deploy within their environment. For the customers that can't afford the infrastructure, you're giving them software as a service, helping them to host, but complying with the data protection law within that country. Okay, so we have experience in that. We've been deploying this similar type of technology. So that's the way it works. Yep.
Kolade, thank you. Ulrich?
Yeah, so thanks. Face recognition in the wild is not foolproof. How do you protect your customers from mistakes that your system might make?
Yeah,
and also customer frustration if there's a 10% or 5% chance that they would be misidentified.
Yeah, percentage from FaceSmart right now is around 0.5%, but yes, you're valid. 0.5% out of 50,000 is a lot of people that will be angry. Yeah, so we also have failovers, okay, to fingerprint and then to OTP. So there are failovers that way. Yep.
Kolade, thank you very, very much. Excellent presentation. Really, really excellent. Fantastic, sir. Oh, beautiful stuff. As you can hear, just with all three presentations that have taken place so far, top level stuff. Absolutely top level. Next up, we have Aubin of Gatewatcher. And the clicker. So just take the clicker, and when you want next, just point it to the back. Cool. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Do you hear me? Yeah. I hope so. So I'm Aubin from Gatewatcher, former AI researcher and now head of government and defense or critical infrastructures at Gatewatcher. So let me start with a stark reality. Cyber attacks nowadays are not just an issue of money. Some people have said it before. Cyber attack costs around 8 to 10 billions a year to the global economy. But for us, the threat is going deeper than that. State-sponsored groups or terrorist groups are now targeting critical infrastructure and governmental infrastructures, trying to put countries and world stability on the knees. You can easily now disrupt transportation. It happened 2 weeks ago in Europe, where all flights were cancelled in some major capitals. You can disrupt hospitals, happens almost every week now, putting patients' life at risk. You can disrupt elections quite easily. You can pretty much disrupt all the trust that's going on in our society, right? So the main issue is not when or if if the next attack is coming. It's when and where. And how do we prepare for it? And how do we stop it before it actually does something really bad? So that's what we try to do at Gatewatcher. Gatewatcher is a French-based company. We are almost 10 years old now. We operate almost all around the world through partners mostly. We are securing, as of today, more than 10 million users, 10 million people, for companies, usually in critical sectors for the countries, or state or governments mostly. How do we do that? There is something I need to pinpoint first. In cybersecurity, all resources are rare. We lack people. Technology is going really fast, and attackers are usually a step ahead of us. Budgets are really tight. I mean, it's like insurance. You don't want to pay money for something because something might happen to you, so it's very hard to get budgets. But the most important thing, the rarest thing, is time, right? Once something starts, the time to react properly is really short until the damage is done. And so that's what we focus on. How do we manage to have the shortest time response when an attack starts? We do it through our platform, our NDR platform, so Network Detection and Response. Oh, there is a thing on my slides. By leveraging three main phases. the prevention phase, the detection phase, and the protection phase. The goal is to stop the attack as soon as possible, even sometimes before it really happens, because the cost of an attack is increasingly high when time passes. You have the real cost, the ransom, or the activity that is shut down, and then you have the reconstruction cost. Usually your network is fully broken. You need to rebuild it, and then you've lost the trust of your partners, so you need to rebuild that, and you've lost all your financial data, so you can't actually get paid for what you already delivered. And usually, if the attack goes through, your company is pretty much done, unless you have lots of money. So we try to leverage this anticipation, analysis, and response. Anticipation is one of the key. The goal is to predict how and where an attack is going to happen. So to do that, we use big data analysis on social networks and on also our clients' data to draw the big movement in the attackers' crowd, to know what they're preparing, what techniques are they going to use, and use it to pinpoint the network failures in our client networks. So basically saying to our clients, oh, watch out, the trend is going that way. Your network is very vulnerable here. You need to prepare on this. Then you have the detection part, which is obviously the heart of it. You need to be able to detect in real time and very precisely what's going on. So for this, we use different machine learning techniques, from supervised machine learning to anomaly detection, behavior analysis, to detect very quickly and very precisely in real time what's happening on the network. And we have this Gen AI assistant, which is going to go through all the alerts and pinpoint and aggregate them and pinpoint the most critical ones, so analysts can focus on them. And the last thing, the most important thing, I guess, is response, because detection without action is futile, it's useless. So we need to be able to block precisely what's going on. And we don't want to stop a whole network, to put it, to stop your, I don't know, to stop a factory if there is one laptop infected, right? It will be absolutely counterproductive. So we need to be able to respond very precisely using the tools our clients have everywhere already. So by putting laptops in quarantine or servers in quarantine, by blocking IPs, by reversing some upgrades and or whatever. How do we compare to other people? I mean, we had a competitor speaking a few minutes ago, right? So there is one key difference in Gatewatcher compared to all the markets, is that even if we, of course, deploy our solution in the cloud natively, there is one key, that's your data sovereignty, right? We can deploy either in cloud, a hybrid, or on-premise with exactly the same functionalities without taking out any data from your network. All your data stays yours. This is especially important for critical networks, right? You don't want your defense administration or your healthcare administration data to go on a random cloud that you don't know what it's used for and where it's going to, right? In terms of traction, so we're starting to be a big team now. There's 150 people from different backgrounds, a very diverse team. We have some AI specialists, we have cybersecurity experts, we have people from intelligence agencies, from the military, from different backgrounds, and our goal is to capture the growing AI cybersecurity market. We work through partners. We're already very present in Europe, obviously, that's where we came from, in Northern Africa, Southeast Asia. We've had our first partners in Southern Africa with hopefully very big clients coming through. The goal for us is to increase this presence and find visionary clients, find visionary partners who want to engage with us for for a safer and a more trustful future, right? And for this, we also had, well, you probably all know the Gartner. So the Gartner showed this year their first NDR Magic Quadrant, and Gatewatcher was the only non-American, non-Israeli company in it, nominated as a visionary. And so it gave us quite a big boost for major companies all around the world, because if you don't have a name, you need to have something speaking for you, and the Gartner is doing that for us. So we have a big traction, and we're looking for partners or clients to expand our markets here in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oba. Judges.
Ubar, you know what is very interesting and, you know, what I observed from sitting here? Cybersecurity systems are born from the heart of the country that you actually live in, because that's what you experience in that country. And that's when you start putting the security systems in place, writing the software according to what you experience and what you feel in that country. I'm very involved in cybersecurity because my husband is an expert in cybersecurity, you know, working with the FBI, etc., etc. So what I do find is that whatever we experience in this country makes the developers actually sitting down and analyzing it more to the sense of what would make more sense in this country. And I think it's very hard for people coming from other countries that experience, and we don't experience what you guys experience on the floor, and you don't experience what we experience. You know, but I do think the one thing that I've seen here is that there is such a huge opportunity for smaller companies to start talking to one another across borders and getting to more accurate systems, you know, that would address issues that we might experience here and issues that you might experience here. Because, I mean, you know, terrorist attacks in other countries might not be the same as in this country and vice versa. And I don't see a global body for cybersecurity. That I really think this is what, you know, the G20 should be about, is to have the sustainability, to have global bodies that sit together and start developing systems that will make sense across the globe. But very powerful presentation. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, thank you very much. I fully agree with what you just said. We are trying on, well, it takes time, obviously, to have international talks and cooperation on these matters, which are, as you said, very country-related. We're trying to do it already with some partners. So in Europe, there is a group dedicated to this, because even in Europe, problematics are very different from countries to countries. And we're doing it also with some countries that are really close diplomatically to France. And on our level, what we try to do, and that's one of the main reasons we only work through local partners, is that every time we do a POC, every time we go see a client with a partner, we learn something new. We learn something that we need to add to our product to fit the local markets. And we try to have a product that evolves through the needs of what we see on the different regions. That's why we don't go worldwide at once. We target regions, we get feedback from partners, from clients, we adapt the solution to what they need, and then we move to another region, right? So, as you said, it's like a global talk is going to take a lot of time. We're trying to do it on a small scale, on what we can do about it. Hopefully that makes sense.
Thank you.
Asif?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get a grasp of, is MDR an actual solution that you put onto the client environment, or is it a service?
It's not a service, it's a solution. As I say, we don't access the data, the client's data, right? So it's a software, a passive software. You have to see it as a smart camera, which is going through everything that's going on the network and pinpointing stuff, and then sending instructions on the cops, for example, to act, right? So it's the service is usually either for big companies done by the SOC teams or by our partners, but we don't do any service. Again, you need local knowledge to do service. You can't do it globally. It doesn't work. Thanks.
Presentation, give it up, Robert. Thank you very much. Before our final contestant in this particular section, which is highly contested, that's very, very clear to see. Just one administrative announcement. So please, tomorrow night is the ministerial dinner and awards ceremony. All of you are invited to it. But for that to happen, you must be registered to go to the event. Now, there have been challenges, which hopefully a young SMME will be able to solve for me before I leave here with the registration on that system. In the absence of that, though, my colleague Zukanya, she's the lady wearing the white jersey over here. She's the one waving. Zukanya, can you just stand up for a moment, please? Please, if you have not been registered, that is the lady you speak to. That's very important, because without that registration, you will not be given access. This is very, very important, because tomorrow night, all the leaders of the free world and other parts of the world as well will be gathering at the Cabo restaurant, where we'll be having the ministerial dinner, as well as, more importantly for us, the award ceremony as well, which will be officiated by our Minister for Communications and Digital Technologies, Honorable Salim Malatsi. Right. So if you're not registered, Zukanya is the lady to speak to. Last but certainly not least, we're now going to call to the stage Frank and Ilyas of Authentic Network.
Thank you.
Pleasure. So just press the next button and just go to the back. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Elias and I am the CTO of Authentic. And next to me is not my dad, it's Frank. He's the CEO and visionary of Authentic.
Thank you.
Counterfeiting is a global crisis. Companies lose $500 billion every year. 70 million jobs have been destroyed over the past 10 years. But that's not the only thing that's being destroyed. It also destroys societies. It causes millions of deaths, fuels corruption, and it finances terrorism. But there's one major problem. All the current solutions that are currently in the market completely fail to deliver. They are either too expensive, have really low security, or no decentralization. So, it's time to rethink. The idea that we had was pretty clear. We wanted to physically print a blockchain wallet to secure products and documents all around the world. And today, I can proudly say, we did it. Together with universities in Germany over the past years, we developed the most advanced state-of-the-art technology for anti-counterfeiting and product protection. And we call it crypto-optical printing. Crypto-optical printing is the only solution that is conventionally printed with normal 4-color printers, that is uncopyable and worldwide smartphone verifiable. But how can we make this advanced technology accessible for everyone? We must combine it with something that every one of us knows. So we decided to combine it with the most commonly known scannable code there is in the world, which is a QR code. And together we created the world's first uncopyable QR code. So we turn QR codes into uncopyable security. This whole technology was completely developed by us in Germany and is patented around the world. With 4-color printing technology, we achieve the highest security. So how do we do this? We manipulate the printing process. So we generate very, very tiny print dots that generate blocks. And those blocks form some sort of structure. And the structure encrypts the color. And every structure is unique. So if you try to reproduce it, the structure is being destroyed. And then your smartphone can tell, is it an original one or a fake one? And because this technology is so advanced around the world, global leaders and global brands choose us as their solution to products globally. We offer the highest security, the best integrability, because we are using normal QR codes. We have an offline functionality, which is extremely important for regions like Africa, where a stable Wi-Fi connection is not always the case. And we have the lowest production cost. But the QR code that we developed is just the entry point. The entry point to a whole all-in-one platform. The QR code is just the tiny thing that you add to a product or a document. But the platform that we developed is what gives it real value. Because with that, we can add or offer additional value-added services like track and trace. So we always know where and when someone has scanned the code, and if it was an original one or a fake one. And this gives you full visibility in the whole supply chain, from producer to the end customer. And of course, we have the smartphone, which is there as some sort of engagement tool. And this creates a completely new trust base between the brands and the consumer. And this is especially important for products like medication and for liquor, for example. So we are not just securing a digital infrastructure, we are creating a completely new one. A one that is securer than everything else in the world right now. The market that we are in is gigantic. The market is valued at $174 billion globally. We target Africa, Asia, and Europe, because those are the markets where we are currently active in. And we are very ambitious that we are able to get 1% of market share, which leaves us with a revenue potential of 1.1 billion. We have a very strong and simple underlying business model. So we have two revenue streams. The first one is the selling of our tag costs, where we get margins up to 75%. And since we are offering value-added services like track and trace, we get a software as a service fee, where the margins are even higher. But having a good product, being in a good market, and having a good business model is not enough. We also need a good growth strategy, and we have that. So we are going to implement a partner strategy, consisting out of two types of partners, a printing partner and a solution partner. The printing partner will print our solution, and the solution partner will sell our solution. So we, as Authentic, we are in the middle, the technology provider, and our partners do the job for us. And with this strategy, we are going to increase our sales activity and success by 300x. We launched our product at the end of last year, and we were quite able to get some projects on the road. So on a global scale, we are working together with Liqui, where we are securing 50 million oil bottles around the world, especially in Africa. We're working together with groups like the Ralph Martindale Group, and we are also active in Africa, where we are working together with Bosch and Stihl, and we did a project together with the Ivorian and German government to secure 30 million medical products here in Africa. And we are also going to be here in South Africa, because on Monday next week, we can officially announce our first big partnership here in this country. We are going to work together with one of the famously known and biggest financial and distribution companies here in the country. So, judges and audience, they're excited. Our team consists of very experienced guys. Everyone is an expert in its field. And from business development to finance to how to build a company to investment banking, we cover nearly everything. And we have a very strong advisory board as well. We have experts and board members from financial companies, distribution companies, and guys like Christoph, who was one of the early developers and one of the core team members of Ethereum. So that's what we did so far, and that's what our next steps will look like. But Frank, why don't you tell the audience and the judges what your vision with this whole technology is?
Yeah, thank you, Elias, for the very good pitch and introduction in one of the oldest big problems what we have. So I'm also a technician guy, and my opinion is this technology has the power to solve all of problems in the world. And we have a technology to fight against counterfeit. We can make all of documents, certificate, and products safe. And every people, every company, every government can use it. And what they need, it's only a smartphone. So, our way, it's simple but radical. We decentralized our technology, make it available for everyone and borderless, without any hardware costs and no exclusivity. Because our technology is based on a standard color printer, and in every part of the world stays a color printer. So we make the color printer to an authentication printer and the smartphone to an authenticator. And with that, we can change the world. We think so. So what we can reach with that? This is analyzing for the impact for alone for South Africa. If we make the text stamps digital and uncopyable, and the government documents authentication with our technology, the companies can earn many of new revenue in $1 billion, and also the text and the customs will be $1 billion of new text and customs. So, and we can give 800,000 new jobs alone in South Africa to have counterfeit protection. So, and also for humans, we can give them 2 years more life with original medicine and informations and so on. So it's a very big impact. And this is a point to discuss this. This is a generation opportunity, what we can make together. And we have 2 choices. We can here discuss the problem, or we can build a solution for them. So join us in making security a human right for everyone, everywhere. Thank you.
Frank, just a quick question. Obviously, your partners have to be very selectively chosen because they can be the bridge to your security. What do you do to secure your product to the extent where you can go around and say this is the most secure way of securing documents, etc., 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 by this stamp? And how do you look at these partners in a selection criteria when you select them?
So we have a partner system of about 4 levels. It's a lead partner, they give us a lead. Solution partners customize the solution and bring the solution in the market. And the print partner print the documents or print the stickers. So, and the last one is a turnkey partner for distribution and so on. So it is a 4-level partnership what we announced. And tomorrow we start with a partner to a solution partner, and they can grow to a turnkey partner.
Thank you so much.
You can be a partner for us if you want.
Thank you so much. I think you had me at blockchain. You came with a different conversation because counterfeiting is also a big problem when it comes to security. I wanted to understand more about your roadmap and how you would scale, if there's any other features that you'll be offering in the future, because I think what you have is one of the conversations that we should be having around cybersecurity. So how would you scale in other nations around Africa and the world? And is there anything else that you have in the roadmap?
It's done. The technology, it's done. So we can scale unlimited. So and we can start, or we are available in 180 countries now. So because we need only an app store or not, or we need a connection to the internet, or we need an app. It's the only one what we need for the country. So and the functions like loyalty program, track and trace, counterfeit protection, it's all available. So what we want to do, it's make the printer to a security printer, and this is the only one for the next step. So we develop the technology inside in the printer, in the what's the software in the printer. We need a connection for the printer direct. So today we print the documents and also the sticker with certificate printers in the countries. We have I think 5 in different countries and regions.
Yes, so we want to increase our partner network because due to partners we are a team of just 12 people. And with that, we were able to do amazingly things. And with this partner network, and we have strong, strong partners here in Africa that are like companies that help big African companies like Trocolor, the one that you saw, and they will get us in contact with them, and for that we are offering the solution.
Thank you. I think the partner network answered some of my.
So
Good.
I want to stick in a last question. So it seems to me that the point of failure is the QR code algorithm that runs on a phone. What would you do around that? Would someone have to download a bespoke app with your own QR code reading algorithm that could detect all these perturbations?
Well, so the counterfeit protection has two steps. The first one is the scanning of the QR code. So we call it the pre-scan. So what it does is it shows, or it looks, how often has it been scanned and where has it been scanned. Like for example, has it been scanned this one QR code since it's unique in Berlin and 1 hour later in South Africa? Then it instantly says it's a fake. And if it detects something that is suspicious, it will ask you to download the authentic app because we need to, we have a bit more data than is readable with a normal smartphone camera. So if you download the app, you get a 100% authentication check.
Also with the app, you can make offline detection. This is very important for Africa. So for the hospital and so on, they need only the app, no internet connection can make the original check.
That's very clever, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so we're just going to have next door in the catering hall, there's some coffee and tea and some refreshments. We're going to break just for 15 minutes. 15 minutes only, and when we come back, we're going to be doing the final presentations of FinTech. This is just so the judges can basically reset their scoring forms for FinTech. Thank you very much. Let's come back promptly at 11:15 because we want to be ready to go and try to finish everything by latest 12:30. The reason why we're pushing so hard for 12:30 is because we've organized a bus, an excursion around Cape Town for everybody inside here. So that's going to be a big deal. Also, we're also going to be taking a group shot. So if you're not here, you're not on the shot. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to use Photoshop again. So please, that's going to be the order of events. A little break, FinTech, group shot, and then we're going to be going on our excursion. The bus will be waiting outside for us, directly outside as you go exit the hall itself. Thank you. See you in 15 minutes. Judges, are you in position? Not yet. We just wanted on record that the judges are not having whiskey during the break session because they have to be as sharp as possible. Or with Tabo, I'm not really quite sure. Okay, so just to give you again a rundown of what's going to be happening from now until 12:30, we are having a bus excursion. I'm going to repeat it again. Everybody inside here is invited to be on the bus. It takes about 1.5 hours to go around the Cape Town and the vicinity. And then we want to also have a group shot inside here. So again, I'm going to reiterate, if you're not on the group shot, I'm not photoshopping you in. That's end of the story. So we just want to wait. We're waiting for the guys to come back because obviously they are now on Cape Town time. And then we will start with the first fintech presentation, which will be Alex of Black Swan. Alex of Black Swan, if you're in the venue, now is your time. And here is Alex. Well done. So, you just point it to the back. There's an antenna there. Don't point it at the screen, okay? Okay. Just press the green red button. Okay. Okay, off you go. Good luck. Thank you. Give it up for Alex of Black Swan.
Hello everyone. My name is Alex Mkwizu. I hail from Tanzania. And today we are going to see how Black Swan is breaking the cycle of poverty in the African continent. Well, did you know that 86% of the adult African population is working in the informal sector? And why is this important? It's important because the people who are working in the informal sector lack access to financial services. They are highly unbanked, but also they lack access to credit, right? And why do they lack access to credit? There are three main reasons. One, most financial institutions can't see the full transaction history or footprint of these people. They highly use mobile money for their transactions. But two, traditional credit systems rely on collaterals, and three, or payslips. Therefore, you find that lending is quite uneasy for these people. They don't access credit to improve their lives or their businesses. However, it's also costly and biased towards the urban and the salaried few. And that is where we come in and I say, what if we can help financial institutions reach to these people who are unbanked in the informal sector?
What if every credit decision just made sense? Let us show you how. Meet Manka, making credit work for Africa, one data point at a time. From bank statements to mobile money transactions, Manka analyzes over 1,000 data points and turns raw information into real decisions, all in under 3 minutes. No need to comb through 300 pages. Manka pulls what matters fast and gives you a clear affordability benchmark showing exactly how much a borrower can repay. And yes, it checks if a document is authentic, fake, or edited, flagged instantly. Got questions? You can always ask Monka, what's their 3-month cash flow? Have they taken mobile loans before? Just ask, get the insight, make the right call. 50+ institutions already use Monka. Are you ready to join them? Monka helps you make the right lending decision with confidence, not guesswork.
So what we're trying to say to financial institutions is that we provide with you 3 value propositions. One is customer acquisition. The people who you underlooked, they can come to you, instantly onboard them, and provide an instant credit by looking at their mobile money or bank statements. But 2 is tailored financial experiences. As Africans, we are tired of generic financial services. If you can tailor loans to my needs, to how I transact, it's easier for me to pay those loans and not get into the cycle of taking loans again and again and not being able to pay. But third is streamlining credit decision for these companies. So far from the feedback that we have got, we have increased the time to make a lending decision 30 times with intelligent scalable credit tools that we are offering. And this is how it works. So the case study here is from Tanzania, whereby you have an M-Pesa mobile, and you are able to go to the app, put your email, choose the duration from 3 months, 6 months to 12 months, and then you just click OK, and you are able to send this statement to our engine and credit score. So that's how simple it is. But it's not only for mobile apps. We are reaching last mile. In Tanzania and across East Africa, you can request your statement using USSD. That means someone who is in the rural areas can send that statement to us or to a particular institution that you're partnering with, and they're able to access credit. So when you look at how we are scaling, we have reached up to 50+ financial institutions. Our non-performing loans is at 2%, and we are active in Tanzania, Kenya, Malawi, and Rwanda. When you look at our verticals, we have been working in unsecured digital lending, microfinance loans institutions, supply chain financing, and also tailored finance by using our credit scoring engine. We have 3 products. We have embedded financing credit scoring engine, in which you plug into someone's ecosystem. We have open financing, whereby any microfinance institutions or fintech, they can use our engine to credit score anyone who has a mobile money or a bank statement. And third is a marketplace for borrowers and lenders. When you look at our traction, we have worked with 50+ financial institutions. We have lent up to $700,000. Total borrowers to date amount to 5,000. Number of loans disbursed to date are 20,000. And we're looking at the projected revenue of 100K, but also number of loans disbursed 50,000, projected total borrowers 10,000, and number of disbursed loans 50,000. Now, when you look at how we make money, in the embedded financing, we look at 10 to 20% net revenue and up to 1% of sales value to non-interest businesses. When you look at our open financing tool, we look at 1% per statement analysis. And also in MFIs, we use subscription model, whereby 20 to 200 month bundles depending on the usage. And for banks, it's $400 to $4,000. When you look at our marketplace, we take up to 1 commission fee per loan and also up 2% per customer application fee. When you look at our competition, definitely you see there is Kuunda, Jumo, Yabax, Dun & Bradstreet, Credit Info, Spin Mobile. But what makes us unique is that we're not only doing embedded financing, we're also using open financing. So we're not limited to someone's ecosystem. We don't depend to plug into M-Pesa, because I, as an individual, I can request my mobile bank statement or my bank statement and provide it to Monka, and therefore get an instant credit score and affordability. When you look at our roadmap, we are looking at a 500K to raise for 5% in the next 24 months, building the foundation of inclusive AI powered in Africa, whereby we are looking at 2027 to reach a revenue of 1 million and onboarding of 100 FSPs. And we have worked with Credit Info, Selcom-Pesa, which is the first digital bank in Tanzania and across East Africa, and Dawa Mkononi, which is a pharmaceutical supply chain. And there's our team. We have expertise in fintech, We have expertise in building AI and ML scalable software. We have experience in working with big companies such as Tesla. That is our Chief Operating Officer, and that is me, the Product Manager, looking at strategy, data science, and storytelling. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. Judges?
Alex, just a quick question. It's more of an observation. So you are just, your software is based on you becoming a broker to find the correct solution for a specific customer.
Not definitely a broker, if I understand, but our solution is an engine. So we are not facing the customer, we are an engine whereby financial institutions, if wants to lend to the informal economy, they will come to us, we provide the engine, and they will ask an individual to provide their bank statement or mobile statement, and they will score them. So that is how it works.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, my question is something along that line, but just maybe wanting to understand more. So your system works on the basis of unbanked people, right?
Yes.
Of securing loans for unbanked
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
But part of the requirement is I need to provide you with a bank statement in order for you to get a credit rating on me. But where do I get a bank statement from if I'm unbanked?
Okay, cool. That is a very valid question. Our system is inclusive. For most people who don't have bank statements, you have a mobile statement, right? And the reason why we have included bank statements is because companies come and, okay, we have these people who are banked, right? But they're in the informal sector. So therefore, they are doing a lot of transactions and we can't even access their business financial statements. So that's why we include the banked people. But the people who don't have banks, we focus on the mobile money statements, if that makes sense. So it's inclusive to us all. We can say like, no bank and only mobile, yeah.
So in the case that I don't have a bank account or a mobile money account, how does that, am I still being considered as part of the process for a loan?
For that, then definitely we're going to look at your credit information. If you had taken either a student loan, that information comes into the credit info. So we partner with Credit Info to look for those other financial footprints that are present while you're doing transactions with the government and all that. Yeah.
Just clarify for me, are you a credit scoring agency or are you just a link between the individual and the credit scoring agency?
We are a credit scoring agency whereby we link financial institutions with the informal economy.
So you do the physical credit scoring?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very, very much. We all know it's very, very daunting to go up first on any presentation, but thank you. Next up, we have Mikhail of Metador, all the way from Russia. Mikhail, the floor is yours, sir. So you just press the green button and you point to the back of the stage there. Okay, here we go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mikhail Gurin. I'm CEO Metador Dev. Me and my team, we're developing our product, Metador Invest. It's an enterprise project planning management system based on AI. We will make financial modeling accessible to everyone, regardless of the complexity of the project. Yeah, we like a service as a third opinion when discussing a project investment plan. We increase time to market from idea generation to financial justification by more than 50%. Okay, let's speak about the basic problems in this sphere. Let's imagine that you're CEO, CFO, maybe product owner, product manager, and you have basic problems such as you can lose the company income, reducing the cost of the project, and NPV and NRL losses. Our system definitely solving this problem via our models. We have first one model. It's process mining. It consists a set of ML models and AI for risk optimization, more accurate forecast, and it allows reduction in the financial losses up to 10%. Next one is the investment project calculation model. It allows to accelerate the preparation of financial models up to 30%. Next one, monitoring model. It consists details by plan actual expenses items, and it allows increasing the percentage of successful project up to 20%. And last one, analytics and reporting model. It's BI analytics in the form of dashboards for selected projects, and it allows reducing losses from the risk events up to 20%. In this slide, you can see how looks our first model. It's investment project. It consists investors reports, amount of funding, average NL, indicators, and hours. Its next one, it's monitoring and automotive approval models. It consists of more than 10 metrics, reports, comparative analysis. Let's talk about market. We have analyzed BRICS countries markets, and we classified yourself like a PM solution, and this solution had a kind of international CAGR more than 10%, and we focused in terms of sum $120 million. About competitors, yeah, they are very big guys, but we have competitive advantages such as we have flexible methodology according to the client's request, adaptive interface with customer-powered recommendation, and first and foremost, we have a flexible pricing. Our clients, it's a big and medium corporation. It's like CFO, CEO, investment manager, venture capital funds and development funds, and consulting services. About business model, for big and medium company, we sell premises or non-exclusive licenses. For small business, it's SaaS. Go-to-market strategy. Yeah, we have a contextual advertising, sales department expansion, and first and foremost, we are searching and we have a partnership agency agreements. Project economy. Yeah, we have first sales. Our revenue, yeah, it's not big, about $30,000. Net profit $30,000, but our LTV and CAC ratio 2.6. And our plan metrics, it's break-even point, it's about 3 years, and NPV more than $135. Traction. Like I said, we have developed our basic models. We have a big, large sale. It was last year. It was successful implementation in the large bank. We're planning right now continuous develop our process mining model. It consists big amount of ML models, and we optimize our business processes, LLM implementation. We're thinking how we can implement ECG scoring into our system, and to develop our financial vocabulary, because we're thinking about financial literacy, everyone who our client. And yeah, of course, we have plans to expansion on functionality, like development our portfolio modeling model. It's our roadmap in terms of our economy. Yeah, it's focused on the BRICS countries. We want to get the first sales in next year, and 2027 we want to sell from $100. And in 2030, we want to have about 10% of the total PPM system market in the BRICS. Our team, we have whole competencies. Each member of our team have experience in the large company, in the big corporation, in the oil and gas sector, on the bank sector, financial and financial universities. And we have 6 software developers and 2 salesmen. About our request, yeah, first of all, we are searching new clients and maybe new partnerships in this area. And second of all, we're searching investment from $1 million and what we can achieve. Increase the accuracy of our recommendation financial models, enrich data sets for the main industries, and up to 5% share of the PPM system market in the BRICS. Thank you for your attention, and remember that financial modeling is accessible to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mikhail. So judges, just before you ask the question, because English is not his first language, let's just keep it very, very concise. Thank you.
Mikhail, what prohibits you from looking outside of the BRICS countries for selling this model globally?
You're speaking that why we choose only BRICS?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we have, like I said, we have analyzed these countries, and you know, it seemed near our current local market.
Okay, so it's very country specific, and it's very much the culture specific of the companies that is in the BRICS group.
Culture specific, yeah, but you know, in other countries, for example, North America, you know, we have a big amount of competitors, and yeah, we're very small, but we have competitors to be greater, and I think in these countries it will be easy for us.
Okay, fully understand.
Ulrich?
Mikhail, it is quite expensive to do good risk modeling for in terms of data and compute, and you're asking for $1 million. How do you justify the $1 million? I can imagine a good risk model costing tens to hundreds of millions of dollars because it's so hard to get it right. You need a lot of data and a lot of compute.
It's a good question, thank you. Just right now, yeah, we're searching their data source. Yeah, first step when we are searching or looking new market, yeah, of course, we need to get data, local data, market local data, because our algorithms, it's data. And yeah, it's difficult, but now we, in the first step, to have agreements with local markets clients in the South Africa. And yeah, the first part justify. Yeah, just like I said, our team have all competitors in the ML, in data science, economy methodology, first of all. Yeah, I know that just we're talking about my local in the Russian market. Yeah, we have just it's specific. Yeah, but we have a specialist from around the world in terms of methodology. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Well done. Excellent. If there's one thing globally that everybody understands, it's money. That's for sure. Next up, our own South African, Tami, who is going to be introducing his special application called Casi Money. Tami, let's go. So you just press the next button and point it to the back. Yeah.
Hi, good morning, judges and everyone else. My name is Tami, co-founder of Casi Money, and we are building a new banking that's built for who we call Africa's hustlers. These are gig workers, these are micro merchants, these are freelancers, and really anyone who earns unpredictable income. If you think about it, today all of our financial products and financial systems are built around one type of customer. That is someone who is a South African worker and who's salaried. That means that they earn one amount, the same income, once a month on a predictable day. And this is the basis of all financial products that are offered today in the country. So I can give Tami a loan because I know he gets paid X amount on the 25th of each month, and I can get my repayments back from him via debit order. I'm able to effectively give Tami underwriting for an insurance product because I can collect my premiums from him on a specific day from one lump sum. And I'm also able to help Tammy grow his money because I'm able to effectively get my investment contributions from one lump sum on the 25th of each month. This underpins all of our financial infrastructure and products today. But as you may or might not know, most people in South Africa do not fit this profile. They are not salaried, they don't earn pay slips. In effect, their income is all over the place. It's erratic, it's inconsistent, it's irregular, and it's often in cash. It's messy, but it's real income. So the question is, how do you provide people with utility? How they earn, not how they're expected to earn. And this is a problem that we're trying to solve. Again, if you think about it, financial institutions want to solve this problem, but they simply can't work with it. I'll give an example with an Uber driver. If most of you have taken an Uber ride, you know most Uber drivers are freelancers. They earn variable income, mostly weekly. Let's take an example of someone who earns 5,000 rands every single week. Today, they can't exactly buy a car from a bank because a bank can't underwrite their income. And the key question from the bank is, or the lender, how do I collect my 6,000 rand from this guy at the end of the month when he earns 5,000 rand each week? If I try to debit him, it's going to fail. I do not have the systems to be able to collect based on his cash flow patterns. And if you think about it, in South Africa today, in 2025, 80% of all workers have bank accounts, yet 87% of all transactions are in cash. And we believe this is a fundamental basis because banking has not been built for how people actually earn, how the actual income goes. It's built on how they're supposed or expected to earn. And this is what we're solving. So how do we solve this? The first thing that we do is we give workers a real bank account. And within 5 minutes, someone can open up an account that is issued by our sponsor bank, which is Access Bank. They get a real MasterCard debit card that they can use to tap, swipe, transact, withdraw at any store, any ATM within the country. It works exactly like your Capitec, your Time Bank, any of the traditional banks. The real difference that we have is we also bank foreign nationals and migrant workers. There's over 3 million foreign nationals that are locked out. Normally, they do this unpredictable work, and they effectively sort of can't get bank accounts. They have to rent it out from somewhere else. So we have built a system that allows them to effectively get an account using a risk-adjusted FICA. So the way it works is we simply say, what documents do you have? And based on whatever documentation you have, we give you a risk-adjusted account. It fits the FICA mandate, it all fits what the SARB proposes, but most banks have had legacy infrastructure that is not able to manage the complexity. So for example, if you're South African and you have a valid proof of address, you get an account like Time Bank or Capitec or other the big banks can give to you. But if you're South African and you live in a back room, for example, you don't have a valid proof of address, we give you a risk-adjusted account. Instead of depositing 500,000 rand a month, you can deposit 25,000 rand a month. If you're a foreign national worker who only has a passport, for example, we give you further restrictions. You have deposit limitations, but you also can't do certain transactions like EFTs as well as online payments to risk money laundering as well as other risks. But this smart system effectively sort of works on what documentations you have, and we give you a financial home. That's the first thing that we do. The second thing that we do is we know that most of your income is often in cash. So if we go to, again, the Uber driver or the Bolt driver, most 70% of their income is in cash, which to the traditional banks is invisible. How do we start to make that visible? So we give you a financial home, but we give you over 400,000 spaza shops, merchants, retailers, where you can go at the end of every single day, buy a voucher like you're buying airtime, go into the Casi Money app and immediately sort of deposit. So we effectively built the most expansive deposit network in the country where you can deposit at over 400,000 places. But the true differentiation in what we've built comes after this. We then sort of look at your unique deposit patterns. How much do you deposit? How often do you deposit? What's the timing between each deposit? And what's the frequency? And we effectively build a model that's based on you. So if you are an Uber driver, we know most of your earnings are weekly. And we can effectively build products that bill you weekly and collect from you weekly. So for example, the 6,000 Rand car, we can effectively break it up into 1,500 Rand every single week. If we know, for example, that you earn daily and you are a car guard, we effectively can say, hey, instead of paying a 900 Rand premium at the end of the month, we can take 30 Rand every single day because we understand what your unique income patterns look like. And this is what we've done. We currently have 2 products that are live, that are cash advances that we have doing off our own balance sheet. And we're also doing auto investments into an Ellen Gray money market fund, where we've partnered with Ellen Gray to be able to do that, to give people yield. So whether you earn 2,000 Rand or 5,000 Rand or 500 Rand, a percentage of each income gets saved. We're also sort of launching 2 products, working with the bigger financial institutions, where they're giving us, 1, their license, extending their balance sheet to us so that we can service this market that they can't service. So there's an exciting partnership that's coming up there that we'll announce soon. And yeah, we're the official banking partner for Bolt, which is the largest ride-hailing provider in the country, and South Africa is also their biggest market in the world. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to acquire customers cheaper, faster, allows us to switch their true income, but more importantly, we're able to get a full 360 of their real income. So for example, if someone was with a competitor bank, the bank would probably only see 30% of his income. With us, we see that 30% that comes in every Monday. We then see maybe 55% through the cash deposits, and then the partner actually tells us what the 100% is. So we're able to get a full picture, you better price them, better underwrite them, and better effectively sort of collect from them. And we're also gearing up with some of the other sort of online gig platforms, but we also have other offline workers who earn from this. So we are doing a pilot with the municipality in the Eastern Cape for all the trash workers to effectively be paid through us. Hopefully they can go into the ECWP workers to be able to bank with us. We also have factory workers, barmen, and the likes that effectively sort of get banked with us. And yeah, we're growing fast. We have over 60,000 customers. We're currently adding about 4,000 customers per week. And we think with this usage and this growth, we're on track to become the largest provider within this sort of key segment. And the great thing is that we're not only getting usage and adoption, but we're getting real usage. Where people are switching to us, they're using us, and that usage is sticking over time. And we make money in a number of different ways. So we charge monthly fees on the bank account. We then sort of make money from each transaction that you do. That's volume-based. Every single time you deposit at a spaza shop or every single time you withdraw from an ATM. We make money every single time you swipe. That's not paid from the user. It gets paid by the networks like MasterCard or Visa. And then we also make money from embedded products today. The cash advances, the insurance, and right now we're currently making about $3.20, but this could effectively go up to 35 once we unlock asset financing for cars and sort of other aspects. And yeah, we're a team that has deep experience, not only building, but also scaling banking and payments products. So I'm a second-time founder. This is my second business. My first business got global recognition. We had patents that's worldwide, and also got an award from the Queen Elizabeth while she was still here. And after that, I joined Yoko, where I effectively led up the informal market strategy, growing that from 0 to less than 2 billion rands in payments volumes, so I know and understand this space as well as this market. And our CTO, Avi, effectively has led teams at some of the bigger banks, Investec RMB, and was recently the head of the blockchain delivery group globally for Citibank. So we know how to effectively sort of build this. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. Judges, let's keep it to 2 questions.
Tommy, does this model require any special regulation outside of the normal banking? I mean, you mentioned FICA and some of the other things. Thank you.
No, it doesn't. So we, first of all, have a co-branding license that took us about a year to get with Access Bank from the SARB. So we effectively use their license for deposit taking. For normal credit, we effectively have our own license. But as I mentioned, for investing, we leverage other partners' licenses. So we leverage Ellen Gray's license. For investment, for insurance, we'll use the partner that we're going to announce. When it comes to effectively sort of onboarding users, it's there. It's FICA regulations. It's always been there. The big banks have just not had, one, the incentive, as well as the systems to onboard these customers at scale. And the example that I always give is, if you go back 15 years, you're a small business that did less than 300,000 Rand a month, and you said to the big banks, hey, can I please get a card machine so I can accept non-cash payments? The banks would turn you away. It's like, I can't really service you. You would take up too much time to be able to do additional checks. So they just didn't work with you. Then came the likes of Yoko, Ikoka, and they said, hey, can we use your core license as well as your core technology, and we'll build on top of using technology to make this work. And that's what they've done. So we're doing a similar thing, not on the acquiring side, but on the issuing side.
Yeah. So the reason I asked the question was, how easy is it to replicate this model in other countries?
It's tough. It's, again, still a very regulated industry. That's why our key sort of focus is going big within South Africa, similar to like how the bigger banks have done. If you look at Time Bank, they first grew to about 8,000 customers before they went into their second market. So that's effectively our goal. We think South Africa is a big enough market. If we sort of get this right on the core lending side, that's a 20 billion rand opportunity before we unlock asset financing as well as insurance for this sort of key segment. And then once we get this right within Southern Africa, then we'll go to all sort of the other different markets that have a similar profile of work base, yeah.
Yeah, just following up on that question, your partnership with Access, was Access is available in multiple countries. Can you not leverage that to actually get to other markets within the continent?
Yes, definitely we could. Like we effectively could go to about 4 other countries working on Access Bank's rails together with our processor. But we'd still need to get regulation from approval from the central banks in those markets. So again, it's about timing, effort, resources, and for now we want to double down in the market we know best.
Dami, thank you very, very much. Homegrown talent where we need it the most. Love it. Moving forward rapidly, we now call to the stage Screed, who is going to show us his innovation called Swan Money. Screed. So you just press the next button and just point it to the back there. So,
Hi, good morning. My name is Saeed from Saudi Arabia. I'm presenting my new business, which is Swan Money. We are next generation of new banking that's built on chain, basically for Web3. So what's the problem that we need to solve? Currently, all the payment that's happening today is an old system. It's basically legacy rails. It's been built 1970 last century, and it's outdated. It's slow, expensive, and gated. And when I mean by slow, expensive, it's basically for someone in South Africa to send money to Zimbabwe, for example, which is a taxi driver I met yesterday. It takes him 2 days, and it costs almost 10% to transfer $100 from here to Zimbabwe. And that's because this is old system. It's been built maybe 50 years ago and hasn't been updated yet. And we are currently having all the liability of these systems. There's also digital asset in the market. Bitcoin has been invented since 2008, but no one is using it as a utility. We have stablecoin has been invented last 10 years, and today we have seen adoption for it slowly, but not as much as we expected. People still need have better experience, tools to experience better and use it better. But also one major thing, which is basically money, when you have it in your wallet, is not your money. When you have it in your bank, you are giving your money to the bank. And if you're unlucky and you've been having your money in Silicon Valley Bank 3 years ago, you basically, maybe your business is bankrupted because you don't have access to your capital. So what we think about the future of money, it has to be on-chain, not only digital, and you own it fully and under your control. So why now? We think that the future is just happening right now. So if you think about stablecoin transaction volume, it exceeds Visa for the last year, and everything is happening toward that direction. So we have enabled infrastructure. So if you think about blockchain, it started by Bitcoin, which is single-purpose blockchain. It was 2008. Ethereum came later, Solana after. It get adoption, but still not utilized for day-to-day. And you have something like Sui, Aptos, Base, a new blockchain that finished the transaction in less than in a microsecond and less than sub-cent to do the transaction. Also, there is a global dynamic that's been changing. So inflation happening for few countries. If you are in Lebanon, you cannot basically hold your money. The inflation is there, same for Argentina and other countries. And people need a way that they can basically store their value. One of the main use for money is to store value and the medium of exchange. And none of them is being utilized in the current or basically the previous rails. There is a regulatory clarity right now. We have seen Genius Act in US. It basically regulates stablecoin. So we have Circle, Tether, and others, which have been under regulation. We have VARA in UAE. We have MECA in Europe, South Asia, like Singapore and Hong Kong already adapting this approach. We think the future of money will be on blockchain because if there is a regulatory basically clarity right now. So what is our solution? We are building from bottom-up approach to build infrastructure that is bridged the Web 2 experience usability to Web 3 control that happen with on the chain. So we think if Revolut were to build today, they're going to basically build it in a chain. And this is what we are trying to build. We are building it for power users, which is people that are using Web3. Think of them like people who's using Linux, but they need the flexibility of Linux, everything. But also we are looking for experience of the Web2 users, people already utilizing Revolut, Monzo, Wise, and other systems. And we basically merge them together with partnership with the right partners. The use case we are going to solve today is peer-to-peer, basically for consumer. We can provide social payment. You can have your parents in your hometown. You can transfer money instant and almost for free. We give you a card. We give you multi-currency. We'll allow you to invest and also give you the lifestyle integration. This is where basically we think the market look like today. If I'm going to have this chart 3-4 years ago, it will stop in Revolut and Wise, where basically it's strong, efficient, but it's not that efficient. Nowadays, we have seen some companies like MetaMask, Phantom, they basically bring the money so fast, almost for free, but it's still not the right experience. It's only for a specific segment. We are building a tool that basically going to be good in usability, but also going to provide the efficiency of Web3. So who was the team? Myself, I built a new bank before, and I sold it last year. I have my co-founder, Yasser. His last role was Chief Architect Officer and Partner at Microsoft. He led AI for AWS. And also I have Mo, which he basically launched 2 businesses in India. I have a Chief GRC, which is Governance, Risk, and Compliance, who used to work in regulatory authority in UK, Financial Conduct Authority. He worked with Deloitte and etc. and EY. I have Sam, who built the first central bank digital currency wholesales between Saudi and the UAE. And I have Casi, she's basically leading the engineers for Block and Cash App and Stripe. We have a team who work with DeepSeek, Chainalysis. We have also advisors that basically help us to build this solution. We are building all of this infrastructure in-house. And the core thing about it is we are building a core AI on the bottom that eventually can help us to build agentic solution for it. Revenue model, today, the minimum you can do transaction today is like using Revolut or Wise is 0.5%. We are aiming to make it 0.1. And basically we're going to get money from the interchange and premium features. We believe our average revenue per user will be $45. Lifetime to CAC is 5x. And this is what our mission is basically build agentic, basically provide deliver financial agency via intelligence self-custodial wallet with the payment as message, instant, secure, compliant, and borderless. But that's not the future. The future basically will be agentic. We think we're going to attach agent to a token where basically your token can attach to a LLM to intelligence and can do things on your behalf. It can basically negotiate on your behalf to buy the best thing for you. It can invest in your behalf and also can give you a personal, an intelligent personal finance management. On the bottom stream, we're basically going to build everything agentic. And we basically planning to build a company, maximum 30 employees, and everything else will be agentic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Judges?
Thank you very much. That was Very insightful. I wanted to understand, you mentioned that you will be using agentic AI. So I wanted to understand in terms of transparency of like the reasoning on, I'm sure that it will be automating some processes in terms of investment. Are there any like ways to see how it's reasoning to get to those investments? And another thing is how reliable it is.
Yeah. So one of my co-founders is Yasser. He basically was leading the next generation technology for Amazon. He basically literally invested 8 billion for Anthropic. And our basically aim is to, we know that agentic can basically enhance everything in the bottom downstream. But in the future, there is unlimited opportunity there. And we will basically think that token as an asset that move, if you attach it to agent and agent attached to an intelligence, there are basically a lot of things you can do. What we believe the future will look like is there are many agents in the merchant side, and there's also agent on the consumer side. And our agent basically will start to talk to that agent and get the best deal for our customers. The same thing for investment. We believe that every stock equity will be tokenized. Real world asset tokenization is going to happen. All the economy will move from Web 2 and real world to Web 3. And the basically opportunity there is huge.
Any other questions, judges? No?
Just a quick one, and my question is around the on-ramping and off-ramping, because normally when you deal with blockchain, you have, and the tokens, you have to on-ramp fiat and off-ramp it on the other side. And that's where the fees really come in, because I see you saying you're targeting 0.1% of a fee, but the on-ramping and off-ramping fee, that's where then it becomes bigger. How do you then deal with that?
Yeah, you're right. So basically, there is a cost for on-ramping is 0.1 today. It's basically 8 pips to do on-ramping with our current partner. We basically give that separate for this, and we basically transfer money for free. We don't see we're gonna make money for on-ramping and off-ramping. We're gonna get money from the interchange itself, which is basically the card payment, and also premium feature that we're gonna handle it. But yeah, even that one has been evolved. We've seen a lot of partners. It used to cost higher for on-ramping. Now it costs lower, and that is what we have today.
Thank you very much.
Just a quick follow-up. On the remittances, because I saw you talk about remittances, will you then have a partner network in different countries that assist with that?
Yeah, usually there is a lot of players today in the market, like BVNK and others basically. We are basically built it in UAE, in Dubai, which is VARA regulator, as a regulator. We don't need a regulator, in fact, but we just need to make sure that we get credibility from users and also allow us to do things locally. And we're going to partner with local partners there for UAE, but for international, we have someone like BVNK or other players in the market that allow us to do this. They basically have this network to do on-ramping and off-ramping. One of the things that we really focus on, we're going to have it as self-custodian wallet. So we don't really hold your money. We are a technology layer on top of your own wallet. So when you hold money, it's basically yours, and you own that wallet. We manage it for a while. If you want basically to take it from us to someone else to manage it for you, that also can happen in the future.
Thank you very, very much. Thanks for the presentation, Screed. Fantastic stuff. Next up, we have Mehmet of FRAY. Thank you. So you just get up and you press next and you point to the back of the stage. There we go.
Hello everybody, it's Mehmet and I'm the co-founder of FRAY Financial Technologies. Today I'm going to introduce our autonomous risk intelligence agent with Agent AI technology. So I've been doing risk analysis for more than 10 years for companies and mainly for banks during the loan applications. And when you say risk analysis in a bank, it's a very complicated and time-consuming process. Approximately, it takes 3 hours of manual work because it involves processes like financial analysis, non-financial analysis, sanction checks, ESG controls, regulational controls, all of these different kind of mostly manual stuff. Approximately, it takes for an analyst, it takes 3 hours of manual work. And when you multiply it with a daily amount of analysis, which is 50 on an average branch, it makes 150 hours of manual work daily just for analysis the loan applications. Apart from this wasted time, there is a very high chance of mistakes because you are dealing with large numbers like balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statements. And it also depends highly skilled workforce because if you don't know what to do or how to do, you cannot do that. For this reason, actually, we develop Jet Scoring. Jet Scoring is a risk analysis platform which makes all this process 40 times faster because it minimizes these 3 hours of work down just to 5 minutes. So first of all, it reads all these different kind of financial statements like P&Ls, audit reports, everything, including their footnotes. And with the power of GenAI, it creates a financial risk report. Apart from the financial analysis and predictions, it uses more than 10,000 data points, like capital market data, sanction list, law suites, financial crimes, procurement platform. It gets data from procurement platforms as well. And also, apart from the news analysis, it can also do social media analysis as well. So, because when you are talking about risk, it's not just financial risk. Apart from the financial risk, you also need to control whether these companies or the owners of these companies have any sanctions, blacklists. These kind of checks are very important. On the heart of Jet Scoring, there is an agent AI technology, which means with talking with the agent, the analyst can handle all this work, and this agent can be built on-prem on the bank's servers. So this is crucial, actually. Currently, you can use many different LLM solutions, but if you are working with banks, these data needs to be deployed on their servers. That's why actually we need agent AI technologies on the on-premise. So this autonomous system can handle all the work. It can do scoring, know your business checks, predictions, news analysis, social media analysis, and all of that. It has a memory. It has a short-term and long-term memory, so it remembers. And when an analyst interacts with the agent, it remembers for the next time if they, because there's a human-in-the-loop process as well. So there is a library on the bank, actually. We can call it like that. It didn't come. Okay, one page is missing. So I would like to give an example here. For example, in 2023, we worked with an industrial client, and they have more than 500 suppliers. Apart from the banks, we are also working with the industrial clients as well, because they need to also assess their customers and their companies. After using Jet Scoring, they identified 22 high-risk customers and suppliers, and they terminated 3 of them. So they prevented millions of dollars. On a banking client case, actually, before using Jet Scoring, they were losing lots of time, 3 hours of work, and after Jet Scoring, they minimized this time just 2 minutes. So when we compare it with the traditional solutions, it has very cool features like agent AI technology. It can do risk prediction with machine learning, and also it has an ESG control as well, environmental, social, and governance control as well, because it's also very important when you are giving credit. The market potential is huge here. There's a $15 billion market globally. Currently, we are focusing on MENA region and Gulf region, but we will move with the Southeast Asia. which has a $5 billion market size. And in the next 2 years, we can address $100 million. We got investments from 3 different investors on our pre-seed round, and currently we will continue with the Southeast Asia after Middle East and Europe. We have a dedicated file team in Southeast Asia, and we will grow in this region too. We are 2 co-founders. We are friends from my school. I'm a certified credit expert with more than 10 years of experience, and my co-founder also experienced in the banking sector, and he's a full stack developer over 10 years of experience. Some slides were missing, maybe because of the PDF, but jet scoring actually is the autonomous risk mastery. It's completely different than the traditional scoring algorithms, traditional systems, because it uses agent AI. With the help of the agent AI, the analyst can complete all these manuality, and it stores all this data, it remembers everything, so it handles the job with the help of agent AI and with the support of the analyst together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehmet. Judges?
Thank you, Mehmet. How much localization is required when you implement a solution like this in different countries, and how long does it take? And where does that data sit at the end of the day? Is it a SaaS service or does it sit local? Thanks.
Yeah. Actually, since we are working with banks, we are using on-prem technologies because they cannot move the data to the cloud, so on-prem mainly. And for localizations, luckily, we are using IFRS, which is the International Financial Reporting Standard. This is mainly the same in all over the world. Of course, there are some customization requirements, but it's not a very big work because all these accounting systems mainly based on the IFRS. And if they are not using IFRS, we can, when we entering the country, we can develop this customization. But it's less than 15 days work, something like that, for each country.
Agentic AI is not foolproof. If you digitize documents, it's bound to make some mistakes. At the scale that you're operating, how would you manage mistakes that your agentic AI makes and identify them, and then who takes legal ownership of the mistakes when you do risk scoring?
Yeah, it's a very important question. That's why actually we developed an human-in-the-loop processes. So when agentic AI completes a transaction or reads a document, then it comes to approval of a human, an analyst. So it's not a complete autonomous system, and we don't like it. We don't want it, actually. We want an assistant of the analyst, and it behaves like that. It's like an analyst, or it's a helper of the analyst. So all these analysts has an helper of an agentic AI, and they're on the loop. It completes an analysis, or it reads a document, then it comes to approval of the analyst. So it works like that. So it handles, actually.
In terms of duplication of your system or your technology, I mean, it would be easy to replicate this. You know, somebody else would be able to replicate what you are doing. What makes your system unique and your process unique?
Actually, mainly, this agentic AI technology, including the document processes, document understanding, is not that very easy, because IFRS reports are completely different, unstructured documents. In many countries, still, people are entering those numbers by hand, manually. In many countries, in Europe, in Turkey, in MENA region, in lots of different countries. Why we are using that? Why we can do that? Because apart from OCR, LLM, and different technologies, we spent like 2 years of R&D just to read, understand this document. So it can now read even the handwritings. So that's why, actually.
Thank you very, very much. Great presentation. Our second last presentation for the day and for the entire competition as well. A gentleman by the name of Idris, who is going to tell us about his innovation called Kabir Better Stack. Idris. Just press the green button and just point to the back of the guys up there. Okay. Good luck.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Idris Mohammed Kabir from Nigeria. I am here to present my solution called Better Stack. Better Stack is the company. One of our verticals is Zen POS. So, next slide. So there is a huge problem in the northern part of Nigeria, and I'll start with Nigeria as a whole. Nigeria has a population of 250 million people, and 4% of the loans given to 4% of the loans you get from by SMEs are only gotten most of them from the southern part of Nigeria. And so there is a huge gap in the loan industry because of lack of documentation, because of religious challenges, culture, lack of physical traditional banks in these regions. So, and the population of the SMEs in the northern part of Nigeria is just 13 million SMEs. And because of religious backgrounds, most of the SMEs refuse to adopt the traditional way of getting loans for their businesses. And we have these issues of collateral that are very high in terms of the percentage and the bureaucracy of traditional banks. So the limitations of physical banking infrastructure is a big challenge as well. Low financial literacy, and also the security issues we have in the north. If you look at the chart below the slide, you'll notice for North Central, Northwest, and Northeast are the least in terms of physical bank presence. So here is the solution. The solution we try to build is a non-interest micro-lending platform that allows merchants to get loans without collateral. Zero interest loans as well, because we do cost plus profit. And also, we automate the process of both loan acquisition and repayment. So the innovation around this is giving microloans on a digital platform. So one of the differentials for us is we are the first POS companies that is providing non-interest microloans. And our collateral profit is around 24% to 27%, which is far lower than the approved rate from the Central Bank of Nigeria. So unlike traditional loans, we don't need your collateral as an SME. The total market size in the north is $60 to $80 billion for the SMEs. And we have a huge population of youth in the north. From the analysis of the Central Bank and Smedan, 96.5% of SMEs are within the north. And the SMEs' contribution to the GDP is 46.3%. So our target is mostly business SMEs that provide tangible values, not services. And our intention is to scale across the northern part of Nigeria at first, and then we can move to other regions like Togo, Benin, because of the religion and cultural spread across those regions in Africa. So basically, this is how it works. For We Better Stack, for us to have a viable idea of how we are going to give you a microloan, first we give you our POS, you acquire the POS, and you use the POS for at least 3 to 4 months. This gives us an idea of your financial capability. And at the end of it, you can apply for the loan. So once you apply for the loan, you're going to present to us an invoice of the goods you procure for your business. And we are going to reach out to your vendor, buy those goods, and hand it over to you at an agreed percentage of profit, where you are going to spread that percentage within the next 6 months of maximum period. So we have integration with the Nigerian card processing, that's NIPS. We also have licenses with the CBN. We have integrations with all the banks. We have real-time fraud detection in our architecture and the rest of it. So our business model first is we lease the POS, and we have a profit sharing of the loan at 24%. We also charge per transaction. So for card purchase, for payouts, for deposit, we also have, we charge some little tokens to enable us have some profit. The impact of our business is more around poverty alleviation, financial inclusion, empowering the vulnerable groups, and also increasing the number of formal businesses who are transitioning from the informal sector to the formal sector. Because at the moment we have 300 active POS, and out of these 300, 30% of them had no records with the government. So we took that responsibility to go to the government and register these companies. So this is also increasing the tax net for the government. Sustainability plan is creating a micro-enterprise growth and circulation of funds around. At the moment, we have 500 plus SMEs on our platform, and we do 600K monthly collections. We have 200 active terminal users and 8% monthly increase in revenue. Our strategy for growth is within the next 6 to 1 year, we want to increase the number of our terminals from 300 to 2,000. We also want to increase, we have a microfinance bank that allows us to give this loan facilities. And our microfinance bank is the smallest tier, which is 500K initial deposit. So we want to increase it to 200K with the central bank. And going forward for expansion within both Africa and the Middle East, we want to have the IMTO license. This license will enable us to have partnership agreement with external fintech companies that we will be able to deploy such kind of solutions. The team is composed of myself, who is the CEO. I have 15 years experience in building resilient and distributed systems. We have Abubakar, who is an ex-GitLab engineer. We have Hawa, who is lead. We also have Shehu, who have experience with banking, Osman Idris and Abubakar. And this is our ask. Our ask is for $3 million, which will allow us to expand our microcredit to by 33%. We also want the IMTO license that allows us to operate in other countries within West Africa. We also have 18% of this amount will go into sales and marketing to increase our visibility around Nigeria and the globe, and also 13% for operation and compliance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Idris. Judges?
Idris, you make money by charging a 20% profit on loans. What incentive structures are there for companies to declare their profits to you truthfully?
Please come again with the question.
So you make money from a 20% profit on loans, if we understand correctly. What incentive structures are there for companies to declare their profits to you truthfully?
Okay, so we're not looking at profit because the POS devices are meant to be used on daily basis in order for them to get their collections of their services. So we monitor those transactions, and then we do micro repayment. So daily we remove a token based on the agreed contract, and that is how we'll be able to have our repayment without much of defaulting.
What process do you follow if you cannot get your money back?
Part of the onboarding process is you need to sign up with a guarantor who will sign to agree that in the case of defaulting, he will have to pay the funds back. And secondly, the POS devices are geolocation locked. So for every shop we deploy the POS terminal, we lock it within 5 meters. Outside that range, that terminal will not work. That way we'll be able to track your daily activities on the terminal with regards to the services you are providing.
Thank you very, very, very much. What a presentation again.
Thank you very much.
Very cool. I love it. Thank you. And now, the final presentation of G20 MSME ICT Challenge. Dogu of Degas Limited. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. Thank you very much. Itlika? Dogu? Doga. Yeah, Doga.
All right, full house. The last presentation means the best, right? Thank you so much for coming. G20 South Africa, here we come! Woo! Don't worry guys, I'm not high. I want to begin my presentation with sharing some of the testimonials from our customers who are the smallholder farmers, small-scale farmers. I'm going to read them out on purpose. Degas technology and support have transformed the way I farm. Degas gave me tools and knowledge to believe in the growth of my farm and my future. They helped us a lot. Before they came, couldn't afford fertilizer. Last year they provided it, and I had a good harvest. After repaying them, I still had corn bags left to sell and feed my family. Before Degas, I didn't even have a motorbike. With their support, I got one, making my work and daily life much easier. I'll tell my family and friends, Degas is here to support farmers and improve lives. These aren't just from 4 people. We have over 20,000 farmers that we serve every year who have and shared similar testimonials. And that is Degas. With a mission of changing people's lives dramatically, Doga, hello again, I moved to West Africa, Ghana 7 years ago. I was born and raised in Japan, educated in the UK. Here I am again. But I also want to mention this. My favorite food by far is injera from Ethiopia, so I highly recommend. If you are wondering where our company name came from, it was derived from a French impressionist painter called Degas. That's how my name was derived from as well. And most importantly, I want to stress out that although I do travel around the world for, raising money and everything, but I do visit the field in northern part of Ghana
as much as I can because every answer is in the field. Okay, so fundamental problem. As you may know, there's 600 million, if not more, smallholder farmers here on this continent, sub-Saharan Africa. But the yield per hectare or per farmland is much lower than other areas in the world. As you can see from the graph, from the past 60 years, 50, 60 years, the yield hasn't increased at all, as you can see. However, 60% of the world's uncultivated land exists here on this continent. We have a lot of people, arable land. What is stopping us to produce more food? There's a severe working capital gap, which we are trying to solve. How? We first go and collect all the data from farmers and farms, like KYC, where exactly their farms are located at. Also get some data about the farms by using AI and satellite image analysis to understand how fertile these farmlands are. And then we actually deploy loans from our balance sheet physically to these farmers. Secret sauce. We use technology heavily. However, we have just under 100 full-time field agents who are deployed to the field to register farmers, teach them agronomy, and get the repayment in kind. At the same time, we also deploy frontier AI models by ourselves to de-risk natural disasters, mainly flooding and drought, which is the greatest impediment to financial institutions lending money to farmers. Therefore, we also build the geospatial foundation model from scratch, which is derived from the farm and financing business. And as you may know, foundation model is a great tool that really unlocks the massive usage of chatbot, which are pre-trained with text. But our foundation model is pre-trained with the global satellite images, over 1 million of them, as well as fine-tuned by our yield data, 20,000 plus from Ghana and beyond. And of course, we are a frontier AI model company as well. So we write paper, publish paper, and our version 1 model that we published last year was a state of the art. So we had to build the foundation model scratch because collecting data on the ground to build accurate yield prediction and crop insurance model was so expensive, right? And as you may know, logistics cost is so high on this continent. So we just had to build the foundation model to minimize that cost. All right, let's get to business. Farmer financing business, very simple. Like microfinance, the only difference is that there's no cash transactions between us, lenders, and borrowers, the farmers. So we instead give them agri-inputs like seeds and fertilizer physically. We teach them agronomy, and farmers pay us back in kind of corn bags. So we have a lot of corn bags sitting in our warehouses as inventory. So let me know if you require any corn, maize bags, right? Minimum order 50 metric tons. And then we collect these as inventory, and then we sell to customers like Nestle, animal feed companies, and then finally we liquidate to generate revenue. We also use AI to build products for other companies that require some of the satellite analytics and where the logistics costs are so expensive. Traction, right? We've been in business seriously for the past 5 years. Every year, the revenue has been increasing. For the past 3 years, increased from 1.5 to 10 million, nearly $10 million this year. We achieved a bottom line net profit 2023 and cumulative 85,000 farmers plus 124,000 acres we provided financing to. I was doing some research, and apparently 37,000 acres that we provide finance to every year is almost 700, if not more than 700 F&B stadiums. So yeah, that's pretty big. The repayment rate, most importantly, is 90% plus, very high, and 34% are female farmers. And thanks to our investors in financial institutions, to date we raised $30 million in both equity and debt. Like I said, we have great off-takers like Nestle, the Dutch animal feed company, Cowdice, banks that are providing financing. Mastercard Foundation is also giving us some support, bearing some of the interest costs. Gates Foundation, we built AI models together, and a bunch of other partners we have on the ground. Going back to the impact, according to the third-party impact verifier, 72% of our farmers are living on less than $3.2 a day, which means that we are really serving to the farmers who really need our service the most, and 97% of our farmers have doubled their incomes, according to the third-party impact verifier, which is very important to underscore. So we make money, of course, and farmers increase their income. The more income they have, the more loans that they can receive. So we have created this virtuous cycle that we'd like to accelerate and expand on the global scale. I'm going to quickly talk about the traction on AI as well. We work with some of the conglomerates like Sojitsu, 10 billion turnover company, to build soil property models using our geospatial foundation model. We work with JICA, BCG in Ethiopia, with the local insurance company to build the crop insurance product that we are using in Ghana to be expanded to Ethiopia. Every insurance company, every farmer faces the same issue here on this continent. And we expanded even to mapping the agricultural recovery areas through our GeoFM foundation model in Ukraine as well. These are all bottom-up calculation I did, so I didn't extract it from the research institution. So 27, revenue projected is around 60 million, and some would be Ghana plus 3 countries, Kenya, Tanzania, and Cote d'Ivoire, 3.9 billion. And if we actually calculate it by farmland available area, times that by average crop sales, I think the market is incredibly huge. So the growth strategy is very simple. Farmer financing generates healthy revenues, collect data, and then we use our eat it in our AI model to build this crop insurance model. And then crop insurance really going to unlock again and accelerate the farmer financing business. More revenue we generate, and more farmers are served, and we are maximizing both revenue and impact. That is our growth strategy. We have 155 people globally from giant tech companies, both understanding the local level as well as the most advanced technology on earth. So let's bring South Africa on board. On the market slide, I didn't include South Africa because I don't have a great network. So if you know anyone who has great amount of passion as well as working with farmers, let us know, and congrats South Africa for the victory last night. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, wait. There was one more thing I forgot to tell. Very important point. One more thing. Okay, can you go back to the slide? Sorry, we didn't rehearse. Okay, this slide is actually quite important. So give me 10 seconds before you bring up the slide. About a month ago, I met with the President Mahama of the Republic of Ghana, and we announced an investment commitment of $100 million over the next 4 years. So to finish off my presentation, I'm going to underscore that our mission and commitment haven't wavered a single centimeter since the inception of the company. Come change the world with me. Thank you so much for listening.
And that is how you end off a presentation. Judges?
Okay, you've got geospatial foundation models that help you predict financing and insurance. And we know that strong agricultural countries, Holland, for example, would use AI to shape agriculture itself on the ground. And that's the missing piece. Could you speak about that a little bit?
Yes, thank you so much. So we are very good at working with on-the-ground partners such as farmers and field agents on the ground. At the same time, we're quite weak on that IoT as well as using the actual agri-technologies. So we are actually talking to a bunch of people from Scandinavian countries as well as Netherlands to really be the complementary piece. And then we can really bring on this, again, the virtual cycle to deploy these most advanced technologies with great understanding on the local context.
Else? No? Then thank you very much, Dauga.
Thank you guys. Cheers.
Yes. What a presentation. What a presentation. So, we've come to the final thank yous. And I'm just going to ask my Chief Director for Innovation, Ms. Jeanette Morwane, because I'm sure you're tired of seeing me in my fancy suits for the whole week in front of you. She is the person that makes the things happen. She's the strategic mind, and please give her a huge round of applause because this was her thought process from the very beginning. She envisaged the severe, and I implemented it. And that is why we do what we do, and we do it like we're doing it on TV. Yes. Thank you, Jeanette.
Hi, everyone. My apologies, I don't wear suits on Sundays, so. No, I just wanted to thank everyone for coming across the globe to this challenge. This challenge is something that was conceptualized by the Digital Economy Working Group of G20. It started in Italy, followed by Indonesia and India. Last year, we didn't have it in Brazil. So we felt that as South Africa, because we prioritize MSMEs, we should then continue with this. So when we called on countries to nominate MSMEs to participate, we really received good support. So thank you very much for coming through. And we really love the energy that you brought with, the excitement and the innovative proposal. And secondly, I would like to thank our judges. They are not just our judges, but they are also our partners. When we called to say we require support, they came through and supported the initiative, not only with finances, but also with time. Yesterday, I saw Craig working them hard the whole day. So we really appreciate that support. And then tomorrow, we will then close it off with an award ceremony with all the ministers of G20 from ICT ministries being there. So if you haven't met your ministers, you will all have a chance to meet them tomorrow with an awards ceremony. Before we close, I just want to recognize the different country teams that are here. I think we have about 16 countries. So when I call your country, please shout as loud as possible. You can even use your own language. In South Africa, when we are excited, we say halala. So I will start first with the South African team. South African team. Okay, let me start with the African Union. So we started with South Africa. Do we have Nigeria? Thank you. Do we have Cameroon? Okay, Kenya? No Kenya, it's only Nigeria. Tanzania, our brothers, sisters. Any other African countries? Okay. And then my fellow brothers that I made friends with last year, Brazil. Okay. Egypt. No Egypt. Okay. France. Do we have India? Okay. There is? All right. Italy? Yeah. Germany? Yeah. I was telling her that I love German cars, so. Japan? Yeah. Awesome. Norway? Norway is Norway. Okay. Saudi Arabia? Yeah. South Korea? Yeah. I love the energy. Russia? Yeah. And we've been corrected so many times. It's not Turkey, it's Turkey. Yeah. And our friends, USA. Oh, yeah. Any other country that I left out? All right, I think we covered everybody. Spain, oh yes, yes, Spain. Thank you so much. But before I close off, I want to thank my team. I'm gonna start off first with this gentleman who always has energy. I had to make him do a blood test to check whether he's taking any drugs, and he passed. He's not on drugs. He's always this excited. Craig Mayer, he's been driving this project with us. Thank you so much, Craig. I think you carried all of us here. Some of us have been here, stuck there, arguing on text. So we're already tired, but you really carried us and make sure that we carry on with the energy. And then secondly, I would like to recognize my team that make sure that our logistics are in place. Zukanye, Lidile, Pretty, and Zintle at the back. Thank you so much. Yeah, and lastly, even though he's not here, I would like to thank our minister, our deputy minister, and our director general for hearing us out when we came up with a crazy idea and gave us all the support. So let's give them a round of applause as well. All right, so I won't keep you from seeing Cape Town, so I'll allow Craig to do the final announcements, then we can take a group photo. Thank you so much.
Very much. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to do the group photograph, and we're going to do it in front of this big overhead project screen. So if everybody can just gather in front of that, that's where we're going to do the photograph from. Obviously, I'm going to use my own camera because I've got a very, very good cell phone camera, because I've got a very, very expensive cell phone. Moving forward rapidly. After that, we're going to move outside. The bus is already there, ready to take you on the excursion of a lifetime through Cape Town. And then, when that excursion is finished, you will come back. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours for the entire trip. And we're going to come back here for a late lunch at about 3:30 in the hall next door, number 3. So that's it. If we can just all gather in front of here, this will be the photograph, the official one for this particular ceremony. Thank you.